Good morning. Welcome to the March 10th meeting of the Paulding County Board of Education. We're glad you have joined us this morning. At this time, we're going to go ahead and do our invocation and pledge, and I'm going to invite Pastor Jeff Bird from Faith Baptist Church in Temple, Georgia. And just to introduce him real quick, since he does not have any opposition and we don't have to get into a political discussion, Jeff Bird will be your new school board member next year, replacing Mrs. Sauer. She retires for how many times now? I'll welcome Jeff to the podium, and he'll do our invocation and pledge. And if y'all join me, and please stand.
Just before we pray, on behalf of the county and as a citizen of the county, I'd like to thank you on this time of dedication, or time of memorial, and thinking about the board and what you do and your commitment. Thank you very much from the county. Let's bow for a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for this day. Help us, Lord, to always be grateful, Father, for another day. Father, we ask you, Lord, that you would give wisdom, and Father, that you would give understanding, Father, and Lord, resilience, Lord, as the board meets on behalf of the county and on behalf of the school board, or the schools. And Father, I pray, Lord, that you would let wisdom always reside in this room and with every decision that's made. We love you. We thank you for your blessings. In Jesus' name we ask. Amen. Let's say our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, and we need to adopt the agenda for today. Do I hear a motion?
Second.
Moved by Mr. Nolan, second by Mr. Clayton. Any discussion or changes? All in favor, please show by raising your hand. Motion passes unanimously. And then we need to take a vote to approve the minutes from February 24th. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Clayton, second by Ms. Sauer. Any discussion? All in favor, please show by raising your hand. Motion passes unanimously, and at this time, I will turn the meeting over to Mr. Barnett.
All righty. Good morning, everyone. This morning we have a few items in the superintendent report, but first we want to start with the opportunity to highlight Northrop Connection as a valued partner in education to the district. We have Janice DeGaulle, who's here. I believe, of course, she facilitates our Partners in Ed program. And I think somewhere in the room is Mandy Summers, our coordinator of prevention and intervention here. So they're going to speak a little bit about our partnership with Northrop Connection.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm happy to be here this morning to recognize another of our wonderful partners in education. And as we talk about each time, our partners fill so many roles in supporting our students, our staff, our schools. And today we're going to spotlight one of our mental health providers who help us take care of our students and make sure they're healthy and ready to learn. So today we're recognizing Northrop Connection. I have with me Mandy Summers, who's the coordinator of prevention and intervention, and she's going to talk. I think something must have happened this morning, and so Jessica Northrop was going to be joining us today, but I'm not sure what's going on, but we're going to recognize them anyway for the wonderful things that they do, and so I'm going to turn it over to Mandy.
Anything can happen in this world, as you all know. But since July of 2023, the Northrop Connection has supported our schools, students, and families, providing high-quality therapeutic services both in and outside of our school setting. As the need for mental health support continues to grow, and with our student-to-school counselor ratios remaining high, we're so incredibly grateful for a community partner that supports our students' mental and emotional well-being. We have a shared belief that students cannot reach their full academic potential if they are not healthy mentally and emotionally. They have a physical location in downtown Dallas. The owner, Jessica Northrop, along with the dedicated therapists at the Northrop Connection, extend their services directly into 6 of our campuses. Those are Nebo, Abney, McClure, Burnt Hickory, Crossroads, and North Paulding High School. They are currently serving approximately 135 of our students who most likely would not be receiving services without this partnership. Northrop also offers opportunities for family counseling, ensuring that care extends beyond the classroom and into the home. So we do deeply appreciate the partnership and commitment that they have to supporting the whole child. And we are proud to recognize the Northrop Connection as a valued partner in education. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll get them their sign, make sure that they have it so that they can display it, and just wanted to make sure that the community knows what an amazing partner they are and be able to recognize them. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Jana. Thank you, Mandy. So by proclamation of Governor Kemp, this week is School Board Appreciation Week, which explains all the goodies that you guys have in front of you this morning. We want to honor and celebrate your role, the role that all school boards play in molding the educational experience, but especially here in Paulding County. This morning, we want to say thank you to your unwavering commitment, advocacy, thoughtful policymaking, responsible stewardship, and your support of our dedicated educators and staff. And so we want to share a short video with you from across the district here.
To our Paulding County Board of Education members, thank you. Thank you for your guidance, your support, and your leadership as we continue to move Paulding County forward in 2026. It gives me great privilege to acknowledge the work that you guys are doing to support our scholars, to support our teachers. When teachers walk into buildings, they walk into the buildings that are clean. They're excited to be here to give our students opportunities to learn and grow. As a principal, it gives me even more courage to know that you're fully supporting us in the vision and mission to grow our scholars and staff. Thank you.
Thank you for your guidance and support you provide our district. Your leadership helps create an environment where teachers can focus on engaging, inspiring, and preparing students every day. In Paulding County, we know our school board believes in the important work teachers do every day, and we're grateful for your dedication to strong public schools.
Thank you for making student safety a top priority in everything you do. The policies and support you provide help us transport students safely to and from school each day. I'm proud to be part of a district led by such dedicated board members.
Thank you to the school board for supporting our education and ensuring we have the resources we need to succeed. The decisions you make give us access to academics, sports, arts, extracurricular activities, and an education that will shape our futures. We appreciate the time and the leadership you give to our schools. Your hard work helps us chase our dreams.
Thank you for your dedication to our children's education. As a parent of multiple children here in the Paulding County School District, I'm so thankful for all the effort that you put into the decisions that impact our students and our families. Your leadership really helps to ensure that our schools are safe, supportive, and focused on student success. Thank you.
Thank you, school board, for helping us learn and making school fun. We love running and playing, and it's all thanks to you.
During School Board Appreciation Week, we honor leaders who carry the weight of our children's future with courage and conviction. Your decisions shape generations. Your sacrifice changes our entire community. Thank you for standing in the gap for our students.
So I hope you all this week feel appreciated by not just staff, but students, parents, governmental partners. So we just want to take a moment to say thank you for all you do, often thankless things that you do, contributing to the future of our students and fostering excellence in education here in Paulding County. So thank you. So today is what we affectionately refer to as the trifecta, Business Services Trifecta Day. And I'm going to ask Anna Durham to come up to the podium. This is the day they actually get to talk about 3 fiscal years. It's only one time a year this happens. It's very special. All these stars have lined up. We're going to talk in just a minute about our audit from FY25. Amber's here with some information on the FY27 budget. But first, Business Services has published their monthly financial update for January, and Anna's going to share some highlights and key points from that update. So,
Right.
good morning,
Good
Ann.
morning. I'd like to go over a few highlights from our January financial update with you, along with the results of our most recent annual audits. With 58.3% of the fiscal year 26 budget year elapsed, you'll see in the top graph, the percent variance of year-to-date revenue to budget is 12.6 compared to 12.1% in prior year, and our three-year average of 11.7%. In the lower graph, you'll see the percent variance between year-to-date expenditures and budget was -2% compared to 0.9% in prior year, and a 1.9% three-year average. And then our unassigned fund balance could support 3.1 months of the fiscal year 26 budget expenditures, which matches the 3.1 months last year at this time. And then as a reminder, this financial update is attached to today's meeting agenda and is available on our website. Our monthly update also includes the statement of revenues, expenditures, and encumbrances. Our next full quarterly report will be in May for the third quarter of fiscal year 26.
So yeah, thank you for the monthly update. It looks great. It's out on the website. Folks can go pull it down, or it's attached to the agenda, as you said. But so we'll shift now all the way back, long time ago, to FY25 and talk about the audit.
Yep. Now looking at our annual audits, these reports are available on our website for the public to access, along with our prior year audit reports as well. Based on the results of our fiscal year 25 financial audit, we have received word that we will be receiving the Certificate of Excellence for Financial Reporting again this year from the Department of Audits and Accounts.
You should smile.
Yes. And then also I wanted to mention that we received the ASBO Award for our fiscal year 26 budget this year as well.
How many years? Consecutively, how many years?
Without a finding.
Ever since Department of Audits has been issuing that certificate, we've received it. It's been 19 years with clean audit without findings. So, and then it's our 7th year receiving the ASBO Award.
I promised them when we hit 20, we're going to have to do something. I don't know what. We got a year to think about it, but we're going to come up with something good, yeah.
So it's very exciting.
A parade, yeah.
And then looking at the results of the financial audit, you'll see the first purpose is to determine whether or not the financial statements comply with generally accepted accounting principles. You'll see to the right, in the auditor's opinion, they do materially comply with those standards. And then the second purpose touches on both the actual contents of our financial statements and compliance with our federal grant requirements. Our results to the right are similar for both the financial statements at the top and then the compliance on federal awards at the bottom. Both received an unmodified or clean audit opinion, which is the best that you can get. There were no internal control issues, material weaknesses, or significant deficiency findings identified in either. There were also no non-compliance or question costs noted. And with the federal awards down at the bottom, you'll see that we were considered a low-risk auditee again this year. And then you really can't get much better than these results, and we're really proud of all the hard work that goes into these. And then I also wanted to mention our SPLOS audit. Every year we have a performance audit on SPLOS to make sure we comply with the expectations in the referendum that the voters approved, and also that we adhere to the law. And that's what the auditors found. In their opinion, we did comply in all material respects with the Georgia Constitution and the official code of Georgia. So really good results there as well. And then again, all of this information along with the reports are available on our website. And if there aren't any questions, I'll hand the floor back over.
Well, Anna, again, congratulations to you and the entire business services staff. 19 years has set you apart from any school district in Georgia.
Right, yes.
And I would argue nationally.
Great team.
And you even survived the last CFO. So, man, they pulled that off with no finding and when that guy was there. But thank you. We appreciate it, all you guys do. So,
Great, thank you.
I think we want to take a pause here for a second. Our partner in education is here, and so we want to snap a quick picture with the board.
You're standing in today.
Awesome.
Well, last Monday was National Read Across America Day, which coincides with, I'll give you one guess, Dr. Seuss's birthday there on the screen. Across the Paulding County School Districts, schools celebrated Read Across, what we made it into Read Across America Week, by highlighting the importance of reading with students. Schools hosted special guest readers, including Miss Lyons there in the bottom right. Themed activities and book-focused events designed to encourage a lifelong love of reading. And if you ever get a chance to do that, it's one of the best days of the year. Last Thursday, Human Resources hosted an extremely successful job and transfer fairs, and so I've asked D. Carol Fennessy, our Chief Talent Officer, to give us quick highlights from that day.
Good morning, board members. Thank you, Superintendent Barnett, for giving me the opportunity to share the excitement from the recruiting efforts from our Human Resources Division. Of course, you see the photos on the screen, but they failed to tell the story. Last Thursday, we had a very successful event. We welcomed approximately 440 candidates for our certified teaching positions into the Paulding County School District. So of course, that was our transfer fair as well as career fair. We started with some of those internal transfers that are looking to move from places to places. Of course, within the district this year, as we are looking at boundary realignment, there are going to be some shifts within the district. So it gave the opportunity for our internal candidates to get in front of administrators and look to make those matches for places that they'd want to go. But additionally, we welcome in an additional about 320 candidates from external. Some of those are brand new teachers starting their career, while others are individuals looking to transfer to us from other districts within the state of Georgia. So we were pleased to have that many people that are interested in joining the Paulding County family. We look at all the data from around the nation, and it tells us that college prep programs are dwindling. So for us to see that many people that are truly interested in education alone was exciting, but the fact that they have the interest in coming to Paulding County School District speaks a little further to the work that you guys are doing and the work that you're supporting and the great things that are happening in our district every day. So we're just excited to have everybody there. The excitement, the energy. Of course, with that many people, we did experience a little bit of challenge with parking, so that made things just a little bit different. We managed to fill up. We did the partnership with the Paulding County Parks and Rec, their event center, and it was completely filled, all the parking filled, so we did have to do a little bit of overflow. So a little bit of consideration for next time when we do that, but it was exciting to have that many people there just showing interest in the Paulding County School District. The fun didn't stop there. Yesterday, we went to a recruiting event at Jacksonville State University and spoke with 50 additional candidates that are very strongly interested in coming to the Paulding County School District. So just continuing to be excited about that. And lastly, we will continue with the fun into the summer because on June 5th, we will have our classified career fair where we'll be looking to bring in new members to our Paulding County School District family in terms of paraprofessionals, school nutrition, looking at bus drivers, maintenance, custodial, all those classified positions we'll be looking to hire for at that event on June the 5th. We will send out more details and send more information out to the community as that event continues to get closer to the date of that event. But again, we thank you guys for supporting the work and giving us the opportunity to maintain a culture that continues to attract large number of people wanting to come in and be a part of our family. So thank you guys for supporting that work.
Yeah, thank you, Dean. Great job to you and your staff. Also by proclamation of Governor Kemp, last week was School Social Worker Week. So we're proud to recognize some unsung heroes in our district, our school social workers, for the incredible support they provide our school communities. They play a vital role in supporting students through compassionate guidance, collaboration with families and staff, and a strong commitment to helping every student succeed. So thank you specifically to Ms. Beasley, Ms. Cayetano, Ms. Cottrell, Ms. Gilstrap, and Ms. Smitherman. And just a reminder that Monday and Tuesday, March 16th and 17th, will be parent-teacher conferences, which means those days we will dismiss 2 hours early. Sort of on a related note, the Friday before, March 13th, will be a district-wide remote learning day. Speaking of remote learning days, I'm sure y'all are shocked to hear this. You probably didn't know it, but today's an election day, a special election day. for Congressional District 14. So in order to host at their schools, today is a remote learning day as well for Crossroads, Moses, East, South, Scoggins, Dobbins Middle Schools, and also Russell Elementary School. And then a couple of just final things to note. Last Friday, Principal Harrell and East Paulding Middle School hosted the Alcohol, Drug, and Awareness Program at their school. I want to say thank you to our county commissioners who sponsored that, our coordinator, John Grant, and all the first responders and other support organizations that helped make that day possible. Our final Alcohol and Drug Awareness Program for this school year will be held in May at Moses Middle School. And then finally, a special congratulations to the North Paulding girls basketball team. They won their state semifinal game last Saturday and now are headed to the state championship this Saturday in Macon. So they've had an extraordinary year, and so we wish them the best for Saturday. Our next meeting will be the regular board meeting on March 24th. The meeting will start at 5:30. Mr. Chairman, with your permission, we'll move on to the budget presentation. And for that, I'm going to ask Amber Thesma to come up. And I have to say, good morning, Amber. Good morning. I cheated a little. And I know a lot of this stuff is repetitive for us who see it a lot. I mean, for someone who's not seen it, it's all very interesting, and we appreciate all the work putting this together. But I highlighted some of the slides where there's something unique, there's something different this year. So it's kind of like, where's Waldo? Y'all can see if you can figure it out. Anna will allude to it. Amber will allude to it. I might mention something. So if there's a little red highlight there, it means something is different that's worth kind of paying special attention to. Thank you, Amber, for doing this.
Good morning. Yeah, I thought about bringing a little confetti popper this morning to get us excited about the new budget, but I thought it might scare some of us. But this morning, we would like to provide the board and community our budget foundation document. And the purpose of this document is to outline the demographic, economic, enrollment, and funding factors that will influence our fiscal year 2027 budget. This document is designed as a reference to be used when developing, interpreting, and monitoring our annual budget. And then I will highlight a few points from the report this morning, but the full presentation will be available on our website and attached to today's agenda. First, looking at our 2027 budget development milestones, you'll notice that today is the first of our 2 public meetings that we are required to advertise in the Dallas New Era. And but we want to highlight too that, even though the state only requires 2 public meetings, we do at least 6 every year. First, moving into our demographic and economic factors that will influence next year's budget, the Paulding County School District continues to be the largest employer and part of the largest industry in the county. Paulding County continues to have a relatively low poverty rate and unemployment rate. And as you notice in the bottom chart, that a majority of our workers are employed still outside of the county. And we also have a limited commercial and industrial business, both in terms of land use and the tax digest. And as a result, the tax digest is disproportionately composed of residential properties. As of 2025, Paulding County still had the highest percentage of residential properties at 86%, compared to the large district average of 65%. And then conversely, when you look at our non-residential properties, we only accounted for 14% compared to the large district average of 35%.
So I cheated here. There's nothing different. You remember, we're 14% this year. But I did want to mention that we started to take that down a little more to provide a little more detail when we were presenting it. The truth is, commercial and industrial is less than 10%. The 5% that make up the 14 is for all these other things: utilities, land conservation, all these odds and ends account for about 5%. So we are actually under 10% commercial and industrial. And put that in perspective, Cobb is right at 30. They're like 27%. Bartow is a little bit over 30%. So we're a third of what our 2 neighboring districts are there. And I just wanted to mention as we go through this, I promise I won't interrupt this long, the rest of it, but I wanted you to know, and you may have seen this already, that the Senate, the property taxes are a big topic this year with the session there in the General Assembly. The Senate has already passed a bill, SB 382, which eliminates the opt-out provision that was in HB 581 from a previous legislative session. So that's already passed in the Senate. The House has taken a different angle, and you may have heard about this. They are looking at more of a consumption tax model to help reduce and ultimately eliminate homestead property taxes altogether. Their bill passed late Friday. It's crossover day, late in the evening. They passed a modified version that they had been looking at this particular version for a while. We had been looking at it and seeing it kind of develop. Well, that night, they modified it materially, and it passed. And the reason why I'm saying that is, and I know you guys know, it's a complex and difficult task to come up with legislation like this when there are stark differences between counties. So we talk about Paulding and county and the school district being unique, but it's especially difficult for those changes to happen in Paulding. And that's why, again, less than 10% is commercial and industrial, a third of what our neighboring districts are. So our goal is to not be an afterthought. Some of this legislation might work in most counties, but we need the legislation to work in all counties, including Paulding County, and that's sort of our position. But as we go through this, note a few of these things, how that legislation would impact us. Shifting to a consumption tax is the point. Also take a look at that as we go through. Sorry, Amber. There are unintended consequences, no doubt.
And then looking at compared to state averages, Paulding County remains one of the fastest growing counties in Georgia. We still have a significant number of school-aged children in the county. And then with the building permits, in 2025, approximately 980 building permits were issued in Paulding County. This represents a 51% decrease from our spike in 2021, and we have an annual decline of 16% from 2021.
Isn't that amazing, considering you drive around and you see all this construction, but wow.
And then our residential home sales have also declined. In 2025, approximately 2,400 residential homes were sold in the county, reflecting a 3% decrease from the prior year and a 31% decline from 2021. And then also in 2025, the average residential home sale price in Paulding County was approximately $381,000, reflecting a 1.4% decrease from 2024 and an annualized growth rate of 1.1 since 2022. And if you also notice that the average days on the market has increased by 11 days, bringing the average to 52 days. Looking at our enrollment factors that will influence next year's budget, over the 10-year period ending in FY26, the district experienced an annual growth rate of 0.7%. From 2016 to 2026, enrollment increased by approximately 2,100 students. But however, if you look at FY26, we still had a decrease in enrollment by 572 students, bringing us to a total of 30,596. Our FY27 projections are currently indicating a slight increase of only 32 students, with enrollment expected to be around 30,628. And then looking at compared to the large districts in Georgia, we remain the 11th largest with a 3-year annual growth rate of negative 0.8%. And the Paulding School District is now ranked 15th as the fastest growing large district in Georgia.
So I wrote down a couple notes real quick on this. 2 years ago, FY24, we were growing at 1.2%. Last year was 2%, and then in FY26, it's the negative 0.8 that Amber mentioned. But what I wanted to draw your attention to, you may notice this, is back in '24, just a couple years ago, that chart at the bottom was sort of inverted. They were more school districts growing than they were declining in enrollment. So 20 some odd were growing and 17 were decreasing. In just those 2 years, you see that's gone down to there's 10 school districts that are growing in this with this average, and the rest of them are declining. So it's not a Paulding unique experience. It's more than that, but I thought you might be interested to know that, seeing so many more are now decreasing. Thank you, Amber.
Next, moving into the funding factors that will influence next year's budget. As of 2025 data, 59% of the district's revenue comes from the state sources compared to the statewide average of 48%. And since 2021, the percentage of revenue from local sources has increased from 33% to 37%. And then when you look at the districts that are within like our enrollment count, we are ranked 10th out of the 15 comparable districts in local revenue per pupil. And this, however, does exclude Cobb and Gwinnett. And then the district ranks second out of the 15 comparable districts in the state revenue per pupil. And then in 2025, among the large districts in Georgia, the district's local revenue per pupil was well below the average at $5,401. And then looking at our millage rate, among all the large districts in Georgia, the district maintained an average M&O millage rate, and we did not have a bond millage rate. And the M&O millage rate of 17.675 is comparable to the large district average of 17.299. However, this chart only includes our M&O. It does not include the counties that have bond in there. So this is just looking at M&O. And then as of 2025, the district maintained to be the 5th largest recipient of the equalization grant, which accounted for 7% of our total revenue. Again, the full presentation will be available on our website and attached to today's agenda. Our next budget update will be on the March 24th board meeting. We will present our preliminary 2027 revenues, expenditures, and allotments. And there's additional information in our appendix, again, and on the full report.
Great. Thank you, Amber. Appreciate all the hard work that you've done, and I know that's coming. I did have, again, as Amber said, there's a lot of information out there. She just hit some highlights. I did pull 3 slides out of the appendix I just want to share with the board because y'all have seen this before, and she's updated it for FY26 there. You might remember the green dots are the state average when it comes to local revenue. The red dot and the line, that's us. And you kind of see how we've dipped there during the Great Recession. We come to rest there over on the far right. Again, FY26, we are 24% lower than the statewide average. And to put that in perspective, those 2 years you see there on the right, the state grew around $444 per pupil during that year, over that year. We grew just over 200. So that I'm saying that to say that the distance, that's why on one of those other slides where she was showing the per pupil, and I don't know if you noticed this, but it's widening. The delta is growing. We're becoming, we're moving farther away from the state average, not closer to the state average in per pupil local revenue. And then I pulled this one out because, again, remember you got the House is pushing toward a consumption tax, and the same challenges we have with SPLOS collections, that's a consumption tax. We collect 56 cents now, so we ticked up a whole percent, Amber's calculated. Now it's 56 cents for every dollar collected on average by our neighboring school districts. So, basically we're about half what they collect. Well, that's a consumption tax. So if we move to a consumption tax model, that's going to be a big problem for our school district. Mm-hmm. Now, for some school districts, we've looked, it'll work for some school districts because their economics are just different than ours. But thought I'd remind you of that. It's 56 cents to the dollar. And then the other thing that's going to drive the expenditures is health insurance this year. I went back and looked just out of curiosity that where you see the big spike there those last 4 years, right before that, FY23, I thought you'd find this interesting. The total cost of healthcare was $32 million. The state funded $30 million of that. So that meant we had to fund locally about $2 million, only about 6%. Now fast forward all the way to FY26, almost to the second to the right there. By FY26, that had gone up to $62 million, the total cost for health insurance. Even the bigger kicker is 47 million of the 62 million now resides locally. It was shifted from the state to local, which is ironic in the years where there was all this push to cap how school districts could raise their revenue, their local revenue. Well, I mean, when you're shifting expenses from the state to local, what choice do you have? And so do a little bit of quick math, that's $15 million we had to absorb in those years, just in those 3 years. It grew to $15 million. And so that had to be funded locally. This year, all the way to the right, you're looking at another 7.6% increase. We already know that. That's already been provided to us. So that increase is going to be well over $1 million. Aside from having absorbed all of it in these years, we're going to have to absorb another $1 million. So it's just difficult when there's a cap involved. And they say, well let's cap it at 3%. Let's cap it at CPI. Well, if your expenditures don't trend with CPI, and especially if you have no influence over it, if it's expenses that get pushed down from the state to local, what choices do you have? So that's an example of where the cap doesn't really work. But lots of stuff coming over the next several weeks and months on the budget. So today's just sort of a kickoff, but certainly not a kickoff for Amber. She's been working on this for many months. So thank you, Amber. We also have, I just want to take just a couple of minutes to update the board on a couple of focus areas that they had for us this year. And it relates to Promise Schools, an update on that, and also an exploration of teaching and law enforcement as professional pathways at PCCA. And so for that, I've asked Tiffany Frazier to come up and kind of give us some highlights. And then again, a lot of information is out there. These are only just a few slides to highlight and update the board on what was really an area of focus for them this year.
All right. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Want to share with you a couple of areas. We're actually going to share Promise Schools at the board retreat and some more once we have that complete updated information from our mid-year data and our mid-year impact checks. What we're looking at today is our addition of pathways to the College Career Academy and also our cognitive recommendations for digital learning and increasing our digital engagement with our students. Just a reminder that in order to have high-quality, sustainable, and aligned pathways, we use a multi-factor evaluation system, whether we're adding a program to the Career Academy or adding it to the high schools. It includes things like student interest. Does anyone want to enroll in those courses? Is there a local need for that? Is there industry engagement partners for that? And most specifically, we want to know that is there a direct link between our students taking those courses and employment opportunities after school or enrollment opportunities? So how does that propel them into their future? When we look at adding programs to PCCA, we have an additional criteria that we apply, which is that we want a value add that's above and beyond what the high schools can offer. We don't want to compete with high schools for their CTAE programs. We want to offer things that are unavailable at the high schools. The easiest example of that you see is our energy pathway. They've got the lab internally where they work on the equipment and then they are able to go out and learn to climb in the outdoor lab. That's not something that's available at the high schools. A lot of our programs focus on the dual enrollment component, and that's what we're going to talk about today. When you look at teaching as a profession, as Ms. Tennessee said, they're doing outstanding work with our strategic goal of growing our own and retaining and recruiting our employees. We actually retain our employees at a higher rate than the state and our region. So kudos to the HR department, we're also doing our part in teaching and learning to grow the profession of teaching. We already have 2 functioning programs, one at North Paulding and one at South Paulding High School. Those are our most successful because the kiddos can walk straight across from the high school to their elementary observation opportunities. When we interviewed students, 64% of them, surveyed students, 64% were interested in teaching as a profession, with 70% of them being interested at PCCA if there were a dual enrollment component. So we were able to actually open this semester a teaching as a profession pathway with a Georgia Highlands certified teacher. So those students are earning dual enrollment credit, which is unique to PCCA. We currently have 7 students enrolled, and we're expanding to course 2, of course, in the fall. We also explored the opportunity of adding law enforcement and criminal investigations pathway. Obviously, there's a need in state and the region for that, and we currently have an enrollment of 711 high school students in our high school programs for law enforcement and criminal investigations. That's roughly 7% of our high school students who are engaged in that pathway. It's already available at 3 of our schools, and the biggest barrier to offering, there are 2 barriers to offering law enforcement at the PCCA. One is an instructor shortage. You have to have a master's degree in criminal justice to teach that course. Whereas you can just be a certified 9 through 12 teacher to teach teaching as a profession, you have to actually have a master's degree in criminal justice to teach this course. So even our college partners have a shortage of these instructors, and none of them were able to offer us any sort of dual enrollment component in regards to this because, again, they don't have the certified instructors either. So as such, we really didn't find a value add, anything that we could add specifically that would propel us to add this as one of our opportunities at PCCA. But something that was not on your radar, but is an exciting opportunity that we're actually opening in the fall, is a new avionics pathway for unmanned aircraft systems. This is essentially a drone program, and if you look at the opportunities for drones, it used to be like a hobby or a thing that folks learn how to do. It really has expanded into every area of industry. If you think about in real estate, you've got to have drones flying over homes and all the different ways the government uses drones to do a lot of surveying. We know our military uses drones. So there's just a huge, robust, rapidly growing market for that. And obviously local alignment with our airport and also with the Chattahoochee Tech Aviation Academy. We already have 22 students enrolled for the fall, with enrollment still open right now for that. And instructor availability, you just need a 9 through 12 certified science teacher who's willing to get the FAA remote pilot's license, which takes roughly 2 months. And at the end of this pathway, what's super exciting for employment opportunities is that if any student that is 16 and above that has taken this pathway can take the FAA unmanned pilot's license court test, and they can immediately become licensed. They can become an entrepreneur. They can start to freelance and offer drone services to businesses, again, across our entire economy. So excited about that because that is something that was not on our radar, but that came about, and we are really pleased to be able to offer that in the fall. Moving on to the Cognia recommendations. Of course, our strategic plan focuses on our one-to-one technology and our advanced and innovative technology. And so enhancing our digital learning is very important to the success of our students in our strategic plan. We really want our students to move from being consumers of technology to creators of technology, to creators with technology. But that involves our adults also understanding how to make that shift. We all know how to consume coursework that's listed online. We know how to use our Canvas platforms, but teaching our teachers how to create these technologically rich environments is the goal of our Cognia recommendations. So we have developed, in partnership with Teaching and Learning Instructional Technology Department and also with our school personnel, a second grade through 12th grade technology continuum. It's very much like our STEM continuum that articulates this is exactly what it looks like when students are using technology versus when they're engaged with technology. So it's something that our leaders are familiar with, and that they have the ability to sort of understand. It gives them very specific things that they can do within the classroom to move up the continuum.
I would like to add that we have a sophomore this year that passed the cognitive test, which is really incredible.
That is, yeah. You're talking about the, I can't remember what you're talking about, but you're talking about at the PCCA in our cybersecurity test. Yeah.
Sophomore.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Incredible work going on over there. And so we will have all of our leaders trained on this continuum by April of this school year, and we'll start our baseline data collection for that improvement goal in the fall. That is all.
And so just a couple of quick points. First of all, that technology continuum, these guys are constantly plugged into where we're going with AI. Again, you got to get to the place where you're not just a consumer. You've got to learn to use AI, learn to use other technologies to create. It's just a different approach to technology. And then I know Tiffany mentioned this, but the unmanned aircraft program we see as a great segue into what they're doing out at the airport. Mm-hmm. It's a practical way we can make that work. And so we're excited about it. And I think once it gets out, the kids are going to be excited about it. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But unless there's any questions, thank you, Ms. Frazier. Mr. Chairman, with your permission, we'll move to the business items. There are 3 items. The first 2 this morning are, really all of these items, I should say, are for recommendation or for presentation only. The recommendation will be on March 24th. The first 2 may seem a little bit earlier than last year, and it's because it is. We only have 1 meeting in April, so Ms. Taylor cracked the whip and said, we got to get this done. So the first 2 items relate to GSBA, and it's just next meeting, we're going to request approval for the level of exemplary status for the purpose of applying for the Georgia School Board Association's 2026 Board Recognition Program, same as we've done in the past, and we're going for what, number 8? I'm doing that right? No, 5, 6, 7? Number 7, right? Do we have all of our little stickies up there? Yeah, number 7. And so just wanted to prepare the board for that. The second item is the board will also at the next meeting, we're going to ask the board to select its delegate and alternate to represent the school board at the Delegate Assembly in Savannah in June 26th, this summer. And then the procurement item, the only item we have this morning for procurement, I'm going to ask Mr. Crowder to come up. And it is related to HES facilities.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Today I just have that one item for presentation for you guys, and this is our renewal of our request for proposal for custodial services. That was done through RFP 19-190312, which was custodial services was originally awarded to HES Facilities, formerly Southern Management Services, for the initial term that began September of 2019. That initial term was amended effective July 1st, 2022, allowing then for up to 5 additional 1-year renewal terms with proven quality, performance, and price. This will be the 4th of those options for renewal. And as always, if you have any questions concerning this contract or anything like that, then you can send them between now and March 24th, where we have plans to place this item on the agenda.
And Mr. Crowder, the price increase that was included in that's within the context of the contract terms, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And I sent the board yesterday some information from Mr. Plunkett, and I don't know if anyone has any questions now, but he's available here this morning. But again, we have 2 weeks for the board to ask any questions they might have. But I did send the board, you may not have seen it yet, an email yesterday that actually Gary is the one who put it together, all just kind of some highlights of where we are with that relationship and that method for cleaning our schools. So, but thank you, Mr. Crowder.
Thank you, guys.
And yeah, unless the board has any questions, that's all. Just other than say kudos to all you guys who presented. It was a lot of information for 40 minutes. So you all did a great job this morning. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Mr. Barnett. One quick comment on the GSBA, the delegate and alternate for the summer conference. If we could get an email sent out, maybe Michelle, of where everybody's at with their training. I think everybody should be at 9 hours, and I think that would only leave 3. So if they, need to utilize that conference for additional training or online, to give everybody an update so we can get that knocked out. So this time, we're going to take a motion to go to executive session and adjourn. The only vote that will be taken is to approve the minutes from February 24th. We'll discuss personnel, security, land, and legal. Do I have a motion? So moved by Mr. Nolan.
Second.
Second by Mr. Clayton. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes, and we are adjourned to executive session, and we'll be back soon. All right, we'll go ahead and reconvene, and at this time, I'll turn it over to Mr. Barnett for the action agenda.
Only one item, Mr. Chairman, that's a request that the board approve the personnel report that was presented this morning, including items 1 through 49.
All right, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Nolan, second by Ms. Collette. She beat you by a hand. Any discussion? All in favor, please show by raising your hand. Motion passes unanimously, and I don't believe we have any public participation, and we'll do board member comments, and we can start with Ms. Lyons.
Okay. The financial department, I know, thanks, Arno. You've had a busy time, and thank you for all the wonderful things that you guys are doing. And Miss Tiffany, we appreciate I love the College and Career Academy. Man, that place has my heart. And to see all these new things coming, that's so exciting. And I do have to correct myself. I said, it was the CompTIA. It was the test that our young sophomore passed, which is, it's unbelievable, really, that a young man like that could be able to pass that test in 10th grade. It's just insane. But anyway, I just want to give a shout out to all you guys. And that's really all I have.
Great job accounting and finance. That's a feat. Like Steve said, nobody else can touch that record. So great job. Thank you, Tiffany, for always, you as a teacher learning, always look at new ways to expand our college and career academies and our CTAE and, revolving that around what employers, the community, and the students need, not just, here's a whole bunch of stuff, find something that sticks. You guys actually put in the work to research and find what works best. And thank you to all of our staff, teachers, admins, schools for the great gifts and cards and cakes and pens and books. And there's just a plethora of things. I can't even go through and name all of them. So, but thank y'all very much. We appreciate it. And y'all have a great day.
Same here. Thank y'all this morning. Great meeting. Thank you for the presentations. Congratulations on the audit. Thank you to all the students and the staff that prepared the cards, and as Mr. Clayton said, the bundt cakes, the T-shirts, the sweatshirts, and the notepad, which I always use these. This one's from Panner Elementary School. It's kind of cool. This is always cool to keep in the truck and write down when Mr. Nolan, my school board member, calls me and I have to complain to him, I can notate. No, I'm just kidding. With that said, I hope everybody has a good week. It's amazing to me that school is almost over in 2 months, and that graduation is just a blink of an eye away. So I want to congratulate the upcoming graduates, and I want to wish a lot of luck to the North Paulding girls basketball team as they head to Macon for that state championship. And it'd be amazing if that school gets two state championships in the same school year. Would be absolutely phenomenal. So wish them a lot of luck.
Ditto. My favorite words to say. They've said it all. I do want to say thank you, though, for all of the stuff that we received today. It is truly an honor to serve this community in this capacity. A lot of days have a lot of work that we put into this, but you guys are the ones that are really doing all the work. So we just want to say thank you very much for helping to make our job easy. And again, I thank you to the public for the trust that you put in us. We don't do this for the accolades. We don't do this for all of the, you held up something. We have this huge cutting board here. We don't do it for that. We really, truly all have a heart for the future of our county, our kids, and what they work hard to do each and every day, the teachers that prepare them, the parents that are at home doing homework with them. But just thank you so much for trusting us to do the job that we do. Thank you.
Can I say one more thing? Thank you to all the schools that have done so many kind and wonderful things. I know you mentioned the county board, but all the letters and the artwork and the seeds and all these things are so kind of everyone to appreciate us.
Just wanted to say thank you to all the kids and teachers and administrators who took time to send us notes. That was very kind of you on taking your time to do that.
And I'll just say really ditto, because everything's been said.
but you really make us proud.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Great meeting, y'all. At this time, I'll take a motion to adjourn. So moved. So moved by Mr. Clayton, second by Ms. Collette. Any discussion? All in favor? The motion is unanimous. We are adjourned.